Dear Thai, dear Sangha, my question, which I ask also on behalf of a friend who doesn't want to be filmed, is how do we defend or how do we face aggression? To give you an example, let's say that a neighbor shouts at your kids and behaves aggressively with them, with your children. What could you do then? How do you face aggression like this? Thank you.
Dear Thai, dear Sangha, I'd like to offer at least a part of an answer. Part Takali may offer the other half, or maybe Tafab Dang. For much of my young adult life, I worked in a juvenile detention center, and I saw a lot of violence. And I was confronted with a lot of violence as well. And at one point in my life, I felt had a lot of trauma in myself. I was very reactive when I would hear a loud bang, or I remember one experience. I was in a shopping center, and I believe it was a balloon that popped, and my heart started racing so fast because I was so afraid. From working in that environment, there were so many incidents where I felt threatened. I felt that if something was to happen, it would be very difficult for me to protect myself. When we practice mindfulness, I see that we cultivate particular qualities, and one of the qualities is that when we come back to our breath and when we come back to our body, we learn to be present with whatever's happening within us. And we learn to cultivate a kind of relationship to our inner experience. We learn to open up, we learn to soften, we learn to become quite tender and just allow whatever it is that's happening to happen. And we make a commitment to stay there and to observe and to stay there long enough so that we can learn something. In the Sutra on Mindfulness, the Buddha asks us to be aware of what is inside of us and also what is outside of us. And he asks us to be aware of things as they arise and things as they pass, as they cease. And I see that just as we are aware of the anger inside us, and we are aware of the fear inside us, and we are aware of the unpleasant feeling in our body, and we learn to stay with that, we also learn to relate to experiences outside of us in the same way. So that when somebody comes to us and they're quite reactive and they're quite aggressive, we can stand back and we can observe what it does to us, and we can also learn about how to relate to that person in a way that they can calm down. We are encouraged to not speak when we're angry. We are encouraged to go for a walk, to come back to our breathing, to go and do something that nourishes us, that allows us to calm down. Because when we're angry, it's like a mind that's full of hot water. It's bubbling up. And when you try to look through the hot water, you can't really see what's happening, so you cannot make a good decision. So it's important that we don't try and negotiate with someone who's angry, but maybe while they're angry, we allow them the opportunity to calm down. And we behave in a way that we don't become overwhelmed by their emotion as well. So if we notice that we're getting angry, we can also take some space, withdraw. And maybe we can come back to the interaction again when it's calmed down. Yeah, that's my answer. Thank you.